Welcome back to the channel. I'm Paul Walker from GH Spoilers. It is a stormy Tuesday night here in New York. The perfect weather to stay in and talk about the absolute chaos erupting in Port Charles. Today we're breaking down the May 11 to 15 week where Nathan's jig is finally up. Dante goes full detective. And Carly and Nina are at it again. Let's get right into this mess. I cannot believe they are finally doing this. I mean, seriously. I have been watching this show religiously since 2015. And this entire Cassius parading around as Nathan West storyline has been driving me completely up the wall. I am sitting here typing this at 2 a.m. because my brain is just buzzing from the sheer audacity of these writers. React first, explain later, right? But oh my god, the fact that the jig is nearly up for Nathan is the greatest news I've heard all year. We have been suffering through this fake identity plot for what feels like a decade, and finally, the dominoes are starting to fall. And they're falling hard. Because, let's talk about Dante Falconeri for a second. Dante's suspicions about Nathan are intensifying throughout the week, and it is about damn time. I love Dante, I really do. But sometimes, the Port Charles Police Department acts like they couldn't find water if they fell out of a boat. But not this week. This week, Dante is actually using his detective badge. On Monday, Lulu is in the hot seat. And she deserves to be, I'm sorry. But Lulu playing dumb while Dante stands right in front of her demanding the truth about Rocco shooting Ross Cullum is just peak soap opera madness. Dante knows, he knows about the slide burn. And we have Elizabeth Baldwin to thank for that. Can we get a round of applause for Liz? She is the MVP of this entire storyline. On Monday, Elizabeth puts the pieces together. She is the one who looked at Rocco's hand, saw the slide burn, and realized it wasn't a knife cut. It was a burn from the recoil of a gun. Because Liz actually pays attention to medical evidence, by Friday, Elizabeth opens up to Dante about everything, and I am so here for this dynamic. They realize together that Rocco shot Cullum, which completely blows Jason's ridiculous false confession out of the water. Remember when they tried this kind of cover-up with Peter August? Yeah, it didn't work then either. Jason taking the fall to protect Rocco is classic. Jason, but it is so incredibly frustrating to watch as a fan when you just want the truth to come out. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, back to the point. Tuesday's episode is where the real fireworks happen, because Dante has words with Nathan, finally. Dante is putting the pressure on Cassius, and you just know Cassius is gonna sweat. Cassius is currently holding Joss and Jax hostage at Windermere, which is a whole other level of insane. Like, is Jocelyn just going to be locked in a tower on Spoon Island forever? Cassius helped Lulu cover up the shooting, and now Dante is circling him like a shark. I know some people are loving this hostage storyline, but personally I am terrified for Jocelyn. Cassius is a psychopath, and the fact that he has been walking around town pretending to be Nathan West makes my skin crawl. And speaking of the cover-up on Tuesday, Lulu seeks out Britt Westbourne. Of course she does. Britt is the one who verified Jason's fake confession. Britt is in so deep right now, and by Thursday, the spoilers say Britt weighs her options. She is covering for a teenager who shot a federal agent, while her fake brother Cassius is holding a girl hostage. Britt's entire life is a house of cards right now. I want Britt to do the right thing, but we all know she has a massive blind spot when it comes to her family, even the fake ones. So then we get to the Carly and Nina of it all. Oh, Carly and Nina. My blood pressure spikes just typing their names in the same sentence. On Thursday, Carly has questions for Nina, and the weekly spoiler says their latest discussion could turn explosive fast. You think. I mean, let's look at the absolute disaster Nina Reeves has created. On Monday, Nina warns Willow, probably warning her that their entire world is about to collapse. Because let's not forget what happened in Willow's living room. Nina grabbed a syringe meant for Drew Kane, lunged at Valentine Cassadine, and accidentally stabbed Jack Brennan, a WSB field office boss. Brennan is now lying on the floor, chemically detained, presumed to have a stroke, and locked in for a week. I am literally screaming at my screen. Nina, what were you thinking? You hid a loaded syringe under a toy truck on a bookcase like a complete amateur. And now Carly's running around Port Charles panicking because Jocelyn is missing, and Carly assumes Jack Brennan used his WSB connections to send Jocelyn away. But Brennan didn't do anything. Brennan is paralyzed on Willow's rug, so when Carly has questions for Nina on Thursday, Nina is going to be sweating bullets. Nina knows exactly where Brennan is, but she has no idea where Jocelyn is, and Carly is a mother bear who will rip Nina to shreds if she thinks Nina is hiding something about her daughter. And it gets even crazier on Friday. Because Carly stonewalls Cullum. Ross Cullum is Brennan's new boss at the WSB. Cullum is going to notice his agent is missing. He is going to come looking. And Carly, in all her infinite wisdom, is going to stonewall a federal agent, while her mortal enemy, Nina, is secretly harboring the very man Cullum is looking for. The irony is just too rich. I hate this. Wait, no, I actually kind of love the drama of it. It is so messy. And Valentine is right in the middle of it. Friday spoilers say Valentine strategizes. Yeah, he better strategize. He has maybe 4 hours before Cullum tears Port Charles apart. Valentine has to decide whether to tie Brennan up in a Cassadine basement or hide him in the back bedroom with Drew Kane. Which brings me to Drew Kane. Am I the only one who is losing their mind over Drew? Drew was in the back bedroom listening to the entire fight between Nina Valentine and Brennan. He heard the gun, he heard the scuffle, he heard the body hit the floor, and because Nina missed his weekly paralytic dose, the medicine's wearing off, Drew is wiggling his fingers. He is moving his eyes. The moment Drew gets out of that wheelchair, he is going to blow the lid off this entire cover-up. Willow has been telling herself, Drew is too sedated to track what's going on, but Willow is so incredibly wrong. Drew is a journalist. He's gathering the story of the century from his own living room. And speaking of Willow, what on earth is going on with her and Michael? On Wednesday, Michael lets Jacinda in on his plan. And we all know what that plan is. Michael is setting up a trap to push Willow and Harrison Chase into having an affair so he can get leverage in their custody arrangement. He already set up that sexy nighttime pool meeting where Chase came out of the water shirtless. Michael is so manipulative right now, it makes me sick. He is using Chase's lingering feelings for Willow to destroy them both. And on Wednesday, Willow meets with Sidwell. Jen Sidwell, the guy Ava is involved with. What is Willow doing meeting with him? The webs are crossing, people. Let's pivot to the mob drama because Sonny Corinthos is losing his absolute mind. On Monday, Ethan and Ava clash, and Rick defends himself. We know Ethan kidnapped Ava and threw her in a car after catching her counting money at the Jerome Art Gallery. Sonny ordered extreme measures because he thinks Rick Lansing is a traitor, secretly trying to destroy him. But it's all a massive misunderstanding. Rick and Ava are just keeping secrets about an art-related surprise for Elizabeth. Sonny is out here kidnapping people over a painting. I swear, Sonny's paranoia is going to be the end of him. Rick defending himself on Monday is going to be pure comedy because he's going to be like Sonny. I was buying a landscape, not a hitman. And then we have the younger crowd. On Tuesday, Rocco clashes with Danny and Charlotte. Of course he does. Rocco is a teenage boy carrying the guilt of shooting a man, watching his mom cover it up, and watching Jason take the fall. The psychological weight on this kid is immense. Danny and Charlotte are probably pushing his buttons, and Rocco is a powder keg ready to explode. I really hope Dante gets to him before he completely breaks down. Meanwhile, Curtis takes on a mission on Tuesday, and by Wednesday he worries about Jordan. This ties right into Isaiah being in the hot seat on Tuesday. Curtis pointed ADA Justine Turner toward Isaiah as a suspect in the hit-and-run crash because of a scratch on his SUV. But we all know Brooklyn Quartermain was the other driver in Jordan's crash. Brooklyn is sitting there, hoping to adopt Phoebe with Chase while an innocent man gets grilled by the cops. The guilt has to be eating Brooklyn alive. I know some fans think Brooklyn is just being selfish, but I think she is genuinely terrified of losing Chase and the adoption if she comes clean. But she has to. You can't let Isaiah take the fall. Thursday brings some classic legacy character drama. Tracy is outraged and Laura explains her actions. When is Tracy not outraged? But seriously, Laura has been making some highly questionable decisions lately, probably trying to protect her family's legacy or dealing with the fallout of the Windermere hostage situation. If Laura knows that Cassius is holding Jocelyn on her family's island, she has a lot of explaining to do. And finally, we have to talk about Friday's cliffhanger. The spoilers say Nathan confides in a surprising someone. Who could it be? If Cassius is confiding in someone, it has to be someone who is morally gray enough to listen, but surprising enough to shock us. Could it be Valentine? Could it be Victor's ghost? Could it be Tracy? Okay, probably not Tracy. But I am dying to know who he chooses to open up to, because the walls are closing in on him. Dante's onto him, the town is waking up, and his fake identity is crumbling. Also on Friday, Rick and Alexis come together for Molly. It is so nice to see some actual parenting happening amidst all the kidnapping and drugging. Molly has been through the ringer, and seeing Rick and Alexis put their constant bickering aside to support their daughter is the kind of grounded, emotional storytelling I love. It balances out the absolute insanity of Nina stabbing federal agents with paralytics. Look, I know I complain a lot, but this is why I watch General Hospital. The pacing can be infuriating, the characters can make the dumbest decisions known to mankind. But when the storylines finally converge like this, it is pure magic. We have Dante playing Detective Elizabeth solving medical mysteries, Carly and Nina at each other's throats, and Drew Kane secretly waking up to ruin everyone's lives. I am strapped in, I have my snacks ready, and I cannot wait to see how this week plays out. If you guys have any theories on who Nathan confides in, or how Nina is going to explain the paralyzed WSB agent on her daughter's floor, sound off in the comments. Am I the only one who thinks Valentine is going to throw Nina under the bus? Let me know.